Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give before this committee will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you all very much. I know a lot of you here.
If Judge Kavanaugh joins the court, it will be the most presidential powers-friendly court in the modern era. Republicans and conservatives only a few years ago, I know well, fought the expansion of presidential power and executive powers. That's no longer true. Judge Kavanaugh has a very broad view of presidential powers. For example, he would have the Congress immunize sitting presidents from both civil and criminal liability. Under Judge Kavanaugh's recommendation, if a president shot somebody in cold blood on Fifth Avenue, that president could not be prosecuted while in office.
Okay, have you take an oath? Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give before this committee will be the truth?
Like many of my brothers and sisters of color, I am not comforted by deputies with handguns, let alone assault rifles. I am very concerned since learning Brett Kavanaugh's views on guns and how he would strike down any assault weapons ban. Too many dangerous and prohibited people continue to be able to readily access and use dangerous weapons to terrorize Americans at home, work, church, school, and on our streets and anywhere we go on our day-to-day life. As you consider what to do and who to appoint to make us safer from gun violence, remember my story. Remember my classmates who died. Remember the victims of color that face mass shootings every day. Remember all victims of gun violence from Parkland, Brooklyn, Miami, Milwaukee, Oakland, and all over America. As you make your final decision, think about it as if you had to justify and defend your choice to those who we lost to gun violence. If Kavanaugh doesn't have the decency to shake hands with the father of a victim, he definitely won't have the decency to make life-changing decisions that affect real people. The youth is urging our society to recognize the depth and seriousness of the gun violence epidemic in America. We are all here with an urgent message for you. If the youth across the country can fight to eradicate gun violence, why can't judges, lawmakers, and Donald Trump understand that young people are dying from this senseless gun violence? Thank you.
Generous with his insight. He cares. I will never forget a long drive I took to Bucks County, Pennsylvania for one of our early annual reunions. Judge Kavanaugh listened and asked questions for the whole ride as I explained my bewilderment over those who deny the continuing effects of slavery and Jim Crow laws. While I was raised in California, I have deep family roots in Mississippi. I believed then, as I do now, that the laws of our country must remain responsive to historical prejudice, discrimination, oppression, and mistreatment of African Americans. There was no doubt left in my mind following that ride that Judge Kavanaugh deeply cared and still cares about truly understanding my Black experience and point of view.
Less fortunate than he is, with various problems.
Judge Kavanaugh cares. He is far from being an ideologue. He does naturally what a good judge should do, seek to understand before offering an opinion. Judge Kavanaugh is a tremendous son, friend, husband, and father. He's honest, empathetic, and intellectually curious. That's the person I know. Over the course of my life, I have found that a true test of a friendship is when support for a friend is indeed inconvenient. For me, from the perspective of a lifelong Democrat, it is inconvenient to support Judge Kavanaugh, especially during this time of an unprecedented partisan divide and polarization among Americans. But I know it is the right thing to do.
Sometimes there's jurisprudence on individual